And welcome back for the final time today to Nottingham and to the Nottingham Tennis Centre for the third of the finals that we have to bring to you today. And it's all British against all American affair. Brian Barten and David Wagner of the USA, number one seeds, up against the Brits, Anthony Cotterill and Andy Lapthorne. In case you missed what's happened today, we've had a win for Alfie Hewitt in the singles, so he'll be up against Gustavo Fernandez in the final tomorrow. Win for the Dutch pairing in the women's singles, and Stefan Ude and Nicholas Pfeiffer have won the men's doubles. Here we go then for the final of the day. Best weather of the day as well in Nottingham with the British pair. Number two seeds, Anthony Cotterill and Andy Lapthorne, just bouncing the ball at our end. And just getting ready at the chair at the moment is the 43, and in fact they're both 43 at the moment, 43-year-old David Wagner and 43-year-old Brian Barten, who I haven't seen a great deal of. Hasn't always been David Wagner's partner, but he is for this. They are the number one seeds, and they will, I think, be receiving first from Andy Lapthorne. Well, Andy's ready, but they're not. Sometime today, boys, would be nice. Here we go.
Short.
Good start for the British pair. And Lapthorne in the blue with the white cap, and the light blue without the cap. Here's Anthony Cotterill, far end in the blue. Here's David Wagner, and in the red is Brian Barten. Not quite sure why they were going for that option, to be honest, because it seemed to me that Anthony was much closer to the ball than Andy was at that stage. But they got the job done.
Well, they say sign of a good doubles pair is the communication. I don't think they had a clue what each other was doing there.
Yeah, will be once again, as he was at the beginning of the day. Grant Richards, performance director for the Tennis Foundation. Well, he brought some luck to Alfie Hewitt earlier on in the day. Let's see whether he can do it for another two Brits.
Try to let me know, okay?
That wasn't even a ring.
Nicely done. First game for the Brits, and because the quads don't feature at Wimbledon, there'll be a lot of people probably tuning in going, oh, why is that different to the normal wheelchair tennis players? So what is the difference with the quads?
So historically the quads were the quadriplegic division for those with a high injury level, and they have 3 or more limbs affected, and as you can see, 3 of these players actually strap the rackets to their hands.
beautifully done in microcosm. So this takes on the people about 5 minutes to explain that. You did about 30 seconds. Brilliant stuff.
Well, this one.
Too much oomph there from the British pair, so it's going to take long for the Americans to get on the board. Game of piece. The two best servers probably going up first, I think, from both sides.
Yeah, yeah. And both held their serves quite easily there. And it's quite tough for these players. You know, they would have warmed up quite a few hours ago. With the rain delay, they've been sitting around just waiting for their chance to come out on court. So might take a bit of time before we get up to speed on this one.
There was a time not so long ago that it looked like they might have to play either indoors or another court because of the rain that we had, but fortunately from their point of view the men's doubles was completed very quickly, so here we have the quad doubles final. Barten ranked 10th in the world. Terry Wagner, world number 1. Andy, ranked number 2. Andy Cotterill, number 9 in the world. So 4 of the top 10 in the world on the court here. Just a bit too much side spin from Andy on that. Take it away. So 2 break points. Game number 3 for the Americans. That's better. Right at the chair. Difficult way to get it back. Good serve. Best of the service game so far from Anthony Cotterill. So back from a couple of break points down to game point.
What? Right, it is. Stars on it, pounds. Oh, that's fine,
Surprised he missed that. By the margin, he missed it too.
Yeah, Dave Wagner is one of the most consistent players, one of the legends of the quad division, and yeah, very surprised that that was such an unforced error at that point, but great hold for Anthony there, as you said, and under a bit of pressure, 2 break points down, but held his nerve and good hold to serve.
What some people at home who saw the Paralympics may be wondering is, where's the guy with the motorised wheelchair?
Yeah, so Dave Wagner and Nick Taylor played together for I don't know how many years. They won so many gold medals together, they won so many Grand Slams together, and then just recently Dave and Brian have been tried out by the Americans, and this is actually a repeat of the World Team Cup deciding rubber for the gold medal in Sardinia this year, where Nick was replaced by Brian, and this is a new partnership that maybe they're looking at for the future.
So eventually on serve, took a while for the Brits to secure that second game, but they lead 2-1. So now we'll see what the new man, Brian Barten, has on offer with his serve from the far end. Sun is kind of shining directly into their eyes as well, which may not be all that good. Only one has a cap, and it's not the server.
I'm back. Yep. 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 Yep.
These two play singles. It did seem like it, didn't it? Do you two want to get involved at all? Moving on.
Yeah, I think Andy's prepared to do most of the pushing around at the back and then trying to create an opening, a short ball that Anthony can then come across and poach and put away.
Nice by Andy, that was a good shot. Right to the corner where he couldn't get to it. Good bit of width.
Got it? Yep. Sorry. 13-15. Yep. 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 Here we go. Nice, B.
40-15.
Yep.
40-30.
Just get it out to right. Come on. Good there, Blake. Go. Yep. 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 Ah. Go.
Beautiful. Beautiful shot. Absolutely pinpoint accurate. He knew exactly what he wanted to place that and got the desired result.
Yeah, dictated that point to a certain extent, and then finished it off with an absolutely brilliant lob.
Advantage Lapthorne.
Break point for the Brits.
Yep.
Oh, yes. 2 in that game from Andy Lapthorne. He'd like to have on his show reel
Lapthorne.
that return and also that lob. And they've got the early break in the first set. Lead by 3 games to 1. And just what they wanted.
Yeah, Andy looking quite focused in that last game, and he needs to be on his top game to make sure that we stay ahead of these boys.
Is there a chair problem for Ryan Barten? Umpire's coming down from his chair. Grant, what's happening here?
Yeah, so it's a mechanical timeout. So there's something wrong, I believe, with Brian's chair. So they've called on the chair technician to come and have a look at Brian's chair.
The manager's packing up, I think. He was about to say, oh, that's me done for the day. Any work for me on Saturday night, and all of a sudden he's required. And what kind of thing can go wrong? What kind of adjustment might be needed here?
His anti-tip wheel could be a little bit too high or too low, so that could be adjusted. His axles could be coming loose, the bearings could be coming loose. It's actually looks though as if it's a strap issue here.
Having a tweak.
Yeah, it's the anti-tip bar. So it's the anti-tip wheel. can't actually see what he's doing there, but I would imagine that they're going to raise it up a little bit because the boys tend to like a little bit of a gap between the anti-tip and the surface. It reduces the friction, which means that they can roll a bit easier, and it helps them by rocking a little bit to get a bit of momentum into their pushing. So maybe it was adjusted a little bit too low, and so they're moving it up a bit. And it's good to see there Anthony and Andy talking to each other and making sure that they're staying focused and ready for when play starts again.
Well, about the microphone, I could almost ask Andy a question. It is about 6 feet away from me, a bit more. Well, I think the repairs have been done. And from the RAC has appeared with his toolkit. And will disappear.
Okay.
So just running repairs, very quick repairs, so we can resume. We'll be back in place. 3-1 with the break. And Andy Lapthorne to serve. Really getting into the groove now, isn't he?
Big head of steam, right?
Just a fraction long.
Good job, bud. Every time.
Cheers.
Come on. Yep. Let's go, B.
Perfect symmetry, perfect teamwork, and pretty much a perfect point.
Great hands there by Anthony, putting it short and giving David no chance of getting that.
Yeah, that juice, just a little wobble, but then two very well constructed points. And they are 4-1 up. Is there any advantage, or what are the advantages of having a left-right combination?
There are advantages of having a left-right combination. Unfortunately, we got that with Gordon and Alfie as well. And I think some of the advantages that at some points they cover the wide court a lot easier. Some points also, they both have forehands down the middle of the court as well. So but these two have gelled since Rio, when Jamie Burdekin retired, and these two came together, and they've got that relationship that Andy is the guy who is doing the stuff and creating the opportunities, and Anthony's strength is actually to hit those short drop shots and to hit those volleys, and when they're on it, they are very, very effective. And I don't know if you remember, it used to be the same sort of relationship between Peter Norfolk and Andy, where Peter would come in and put some of those balls away as well, and it was very effective when he did it as well. So
Well, if only they're as successful a combination as Pete was with Andy, then it's a good future to look forward to in quads for Great Britain. So 4-1. Just that one break.
15 love.
Now we can get to that. 3 bounces, 4 bounces, still can't get to it. Just too far out of reach. Longest rally of the match and the most productive from a British point of view. Both guys very much involved in that rally.
yeah, and Dave coming to the net and Anthony coming to the net, and 2 boys at the back keeping the rally going. Some good little interchanges there, and we came out on top.
I don't think he liked it.
Dave is such a perfectionist that unforced errors just drive him absolutely nuts.
Barten, Wagner.
He loves those moon balls occasionally, doesn't he? He loves to just stick those in from time to time. Not often, but suddenly a little moon ball will come in and break up the play.
Yeah, and he likes to mix it up a little bit as well. So, and he's adding more weapons to his toolbox as well. So, but we'll keep that one in because it always keeps people alert.
4-2, still with that one break. Our cameraman. You're right. Was expecting that.
Yep.
50 all.
Son again, same shot.
50, 30.
Tricky, that sun's right in his eyes now. Was that an ace? That's an ace. If I can't see it, call an ace.
We'll keep that sun right in his eyes if he can keep producing those.
Come on, come on.
40, 30.
Good escape for the British pair. And 5-2 lead, first set. Now you referred to at the beginning of the match, 3 of the 4 players have their rackets strapped to their hands. Why does Andy Lapthorne not?
So the 3, Brian Barten, David Wagner and Anthony Cotterill are all quadriplegic, so they have very high break of their spinal cord. Andy's in this division because he has 3 limbs affected as well because of his cerebral palsy. So although he doesn't have a spinal cord injury, he still has 3 limbs or more affected, and that means that he does have good hand function, and that's why he doesn't have to tape, because he can actually hold his racket without it falling out, whereas the other boys don't have good grip and would lose their racket when they made contact with the ball if they tried to hit it without taping.
Is that a major benefit from his point of view in terms of what he can do with the racket?
Absolutely, because when the racket is taped to your hand, you've got to have the same grip for serve, for forehand, for backhand. Whereas Andy can just change his grip around and be a bit more extreme when he wants to get a bit more topspin, or a little bit more closed when he wants a bit more slice. So he does have an advantage, but with his condition, cerebral palsy, he also fatigues probably a bit more than the quads and or the quadriplegics. So there's swings and roundabouts.
Yep.
Love 50.
Yep.
50 all.
Go wide, go.
Great angle. What a terrific angle that was by Anthony Cotterill.
50, 30.
Again, doing his role absolutely perfectly there, coming in, taking that ball and creating that soft little short angle.
Yep.
Ooh, just long.
30 all.
Idea was good. Execution not quite so good.
Yep. Nice serve. Thanks.
40, 30.
Yep.
And Barten, Wagner.
Good job, B. Come on.
Oh, that's one that's come and gone. 5-3. The Brits now on serve to serve it out. Who would you rather have? Andy Lapthorne to do that.
Yep.
15 love.
There. Okay.
Thirty love.
Good try. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Here we go.
Oh, just too much.
30, 15.
Let's go, Waggy. Watch that turning out, bud. You can. No, it's tough, but. Here we go, bud. Come on. Oh! Come on, B.
30 all.
Let's go, bro. Yep. Got me. Let's go.
30,
Come on.
Right. High. A little long as well.
Yep. 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 Come on, Wag.
and Barten, Wagner.
Well, that's the break back.
Cotterill, Lapthorne
It
lead,
wasn't
5-4.
Andy's best service game. One serve into the wrong box completely during that serve. So, yeah, I thought Andy would have a banker to close that out. Not quite the case.
No, it was a good start to the game as well, going 30 love up, but just lost a bit of focus. I mean, that one little volley from Anthony just missed the line, which would have given us 3 set points, but didn't quite make that ball, and then within a blink of an eye, we lost that break.
So 5-4. Still with the Brits in front, but obviously that break has come back, and now we'll have new balls. Well, you're watching the quad doubles final from Nottingham, British Open Wheelchair Tennis Championships. The American pair, Brian Barten, David Wagner, Anthony Cotterill and Andy Lapthorne of Great Britain. Good reaction, good interception. That's why he is the world number 1.
50 all.
Yeah, David reads the game very, very well as well, and anticipates very well.
No, they kind of handed that point straight to the Americans there. I get a little mix up in who's going to go for that, and then allowing it to go for Anthony at the back of the court. Not his best position really for that.
No. So again, need to keep the communication going. Need to keep talking to each other to make sure they know where they are.
Nice, you don't see that? That's what he's best at, and he's done it so many times already in this game and in this match.
30 all.
Just kind of feathering the ball back across, make it die on the court so you can't get it back.
And it's about them sticking to that tactic, keep the game plan going.
Key point here. Oh, he's not going to get that, is he? No, he's not. Perfectly placed by Andy Lapthorne. I don't think saw much of that because the sun was right, even with the gap, I think the sun was right in his eyes there, but got the ball back inside the baseline, and here we are at set point. Beautifully done. Excellently done. 2 in a game there for the Brits, who close out the first set by 6 games to 4. And looks like that understanding is coming together very well. There are times when I see Anthony mid-court think, oh, why aren't you taking it? There's obviously an understanding, and they've discussed it about positioning on the court, and he just leaves all those kind of balls to Andy at the back.
Absolutely, and it's great to know that your partner's got you covered. It's great to know that if you're not feeling that you're in exactly the right position, your partner's going to come in and be a bit of a backstop and uncover you there. And I think in the middle of that rally there, Anthony wasn't quite sure if he was in the right position to play that volley, so called yours. Andy was there, came in, but then Anthony recovers to play the next volley, that's his, and puts that ball away for the set.
So first set to the Brits, number 2 seeds, remember. Andy Cotterill and Andy Lapthorne take the first set 6-4. Looking very happy with life. The Americans have a little bit of work to do. They're running repairs to the chair. And now they've got a few words to exchange between each other as we watch some of the highlights of the first set.
Time.
So I think I detected a smile on Andy's face as he comes back out onto the court. 1 set down, 6 games to 4 for the Brits. And the Americans now with all the work to do to get back into this.
second set, Cotterill to serve.
I decided you want to put it nice and deep, right just under the nose of the Americans.
Yeah, that was a little bit closer to the line than we wanted it.
Perfect cross-court pass. I think that Andy could do. Though Andy is in his chair, couldn't get anywhere near that.
Can't make good serving. Tough.
Took all the weight of it again. How many times have we seen that in the match where basically just rolls his wrists? He doesn't have a lot of mobility with that racket and just kind of dies. That was beautifully done. It's a horrible one to deal with that. Yeah, couldn't. Not quite sure he meant to play that shot, but it turned out to be an absolute corker because you got two men going, not quite sure which of us should take this.
Yeah, putting a bit of uncertainty in the opponent's minds is always helpful, and this blustery wind is making things quite tricky also.
Well, that's good. Bit of pace again, cross court. The more experienced man. So they're both the same age, but obviously David Wagner has a lot more experience at this level. Yeah, really got into the groove in that game, didn't he? David Wagner. The British defence, good though was in part, wasn't able to counteract the cross-court play of David Wagner. So there's the early break in set number 2.
Yeah, not the start we wanted after winning that first set, so we've got to be strong now and try and break straight back.
there?
You go.
15 left.
Good job, B. Good work, bro. Good job. Good job.
Yep. That's it.
30 left.
I'll take that ball.
Yes, sir, buddy. Here you go, B. Come on, buddy. Lots of working.
You. Come on.
40 left.
Good work, Mike.
Good job, B. Come on. Go, bro.
Yep.
Just go off the ball a bit,
Wagner.
sadly. And Lapthorne just going off the ball, and Anthony at the same time. So just a little bit of regrouping needed. Early stages of the second set. 2 games to love to the Americans with that early break.
Think be ready, okay?
Yeah, we gave that game away far too cheaply. Need to get back on it and get back into this set.
He seems to be fiddling with the tape on his racket quite a bit at the moment. That might get him back on track. The kind of shot that he loves.
Short. Yep.
Well, Brian Barten was living on the backstop there, hardly able to move off the back of the court. 3 times there, been pushed further and further back.
Come on. When you're in that position, you gotta go back up.
40 left.
Go, Brian.
Come on,
get a good look here.
To be fair, he hasn't missed many of those. But it's probably the first one I do remember him missing.
Yeah, we just hope that that's not going to prove costly. Let's just reset and get a big serving by Andy.
That'll do, come through it. not looking totally at ease with himself or indeed with the game. And always, I think, a sign when Andy's not feeling 100% is his serve is rushed.
Yep, no, absolutely correct. And you were absolutely correct as well, picking up that he was playing with his grip, and obviously he wasn't happy with that, and that was unsettling him a little bit. So he's just handing it over to Stuart Wilkinson, our national coach, and asking him to change that grip in the change of ends, and then hopefully he can refocus and get back out again.
So 6-4 to the British pair. Early break for the Americans. 2-1. Let's look at some of the highlights of recent times. That's Andy going for those moon balls again. Yeah, he's done that, what, 4 or 5 times in the game, in the match so far.
Yeah, good underspin there by Anthony.
Well, it's a lot of people who watched the Paralympics last year. They won't know too much about Anthony. It's a little précis, a little biog.
So Anthony has been on the programme for a couple of cycles now. Got to Beijing and as a inspiration player, so to give him some experience. Just missed out on selection to London because we only take 3 quads to the games, but then got his breakthrough and qualified to get to Rio. Unfortunately wasn't very well in Rio, but has shown that actually as a doubles player, he's a specialist doubles player, and they've had some, together with Andy, they've had some very good successes since Rio, the doubles masters last year, and a couple of Super Series wins as well.
Do you wonder who this Hugo is?
Come on, Andy.
Wait, please, thank you.
Hard on the way, is it? You. Get out! Come on! Go! Come on.
15-30.
Fire up now.
Yep.
Oh, that's every time in the
30
sun.
on.
I cannot see it. You.
Great smash.
Now away with force. Holding back on that one.
40.
This one, buddy, this one.
Break point.
Cheers.
Couldn't put it away that time.
Barten Wagner.
Had the intentions of Anthony Cotterill very, very quickly.
Right.
And Barten Wagner.
Well, they had a chance to break back.
Barten Wagner
Not taken.
3 games to 1.
So the Americans move up by a couple of games, 3-1, trying to level sets. Well, Americans are blotting at the moment. Americans are dominating this, pretty much calling the tune as they see fit.
Yeah, our boys have just gone off the boil a little bit here and let the Americans just dominate a little bit and dictate what's happening, and really need to pull this around quickly.
Good recovery, very good recovery by Andy Lapthorne. Twice there, trying to get himself seemingly out of position, but then back in position to get that ball back in play. So, good point for the Brits. Double break chance then for the Americans. Got it. Full stretch and going fair old lick when he got there.
Very good push there by Anthony to get across and then direct that ball back cross court with an angle.
Oh, that should have been take a break. Wagner normally so deadly around the net. Right on top of it. Oh, puts it into the net. Back to Juice.
Yeah, we'll take that. Just good hustle at the back from the boys there, and making Wagner play one more, and he couldn't quite make it.
Barten Wagner.
Well, for that point, Wagner had said this one. Well, it wasn't quite to be. Good interception, good anticipation again
Barten Wagner.
by the lesser ranked American. Bring up another break point. A lot of unforced errors.
I'm not used to seeing Dave making all these unforced errors.
Barten Wagner.
Perfectly placed, and he was no position to get to it. Good pass, Anthony. So it's one of the longer games of the match. Yeah.
Barten Wagner.
Well, another break point coming the Americans' way. Oh, again, Anthony's done it countless times in this match so far. That little angled stop volley works well.
Terrific push by Andy to get across and recover that one, and then Anthony showing what he can do and putting that ball away.
Barten Wagner.
Keep going, Andy.
First service.
What a good position that ball was placed into, and that is a very, very good escape.
Lapthorne.
Yeah, big game there, because if it went 4-1 down,
Second set.
set could have been gone. So good hold there by Anthony, and a great lob to finish it off.
Yeah, interesting. So, we're referring to David Wagner, world number 1, back in action. In fact, he'll be, I think, partnering Andy at the US Open, was he?
That's correct, yes. So there was some confusion because Brian's been given the wild card, but I think Brian, for some reason, miscommunicated with Dave and they weren't partnered up, so Andy and Dave decided to partner up, and they're going to play the Super Series in St. Louis the week before as well as a warm-up tournament, and hopefully they can come home with the goods, bring the goods home from US Open.
And Andy back tomorrow to do battle with him in the final.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of the old days when Pete Norfolk and Wags used to come to most of the finals together, and now Andy and Wags are starting this rivalry, and it's really exciting actually to because on their day they can both beat each other, so it's who comes out firing, and it should be a great game tomorrow.
So still that break, of course, but not as bad as it could have been. 3-2 to the Americans, and it will be Brian Barten to serve.
Stay ready. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Love to see.
Yep. Yep. I'm back. You're good. Yep. Oh my.
Oh, so deep. So deep, that was never coming back into the stop netting. And that's that point done and dusted.
You. 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 Yep. Out.
Ooh, just not.
16-7.
Yep. Out.
30.
That's the tail. Come on. Go, B. Come on, buddy. Yeah. You. Let's go.
47.
Good cover, buddy. Come on. Let's go. This one. Come on. You go. Come on, B.
Well, I think it's fair to say Andy was not happy with the call in the point previous, but doesn't matter because the
Let's go.
Americans got the job done.
That's great, coach.
Yeah, I think they had an opportunity there.
Go, buddy.
Love to, yeah, sun in Brian's eyes, didn't really push on there, and then just got sidetracked by that line call.
Yeah, and then try to maybe either decide where you're at.
Love 50.
It's double, I think.
Sorry, dude. Come on.
We tried going over.
Come on. Come on, we'll make this one. Let's go. Come on, bro. Come on. This one. Let's go, baby. Come on, buddy.
Next, second service.
Go, buddy.
Good second serve. Lapthorne keeps them in the game.
Go, buddy.
Huge.
Dang it. Come on, this one, bud. Come on, let's go.
I think somebody in the crowd go, put it away, Anthony, put it away. That's two good chances on the net. She didn't take.
Mike's, give me 1 second.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, Barten. Wagner. Barten regularly.
Well, that's the double break, and with it probably goes the second set. The Americans. And a bit scrappy, really.
Yeah, we've had chances in the last few games to take the games, but just haven't been able to convert those chances, and just getting a little bit tentative and just not being as positive as we need to be. And the Americans are just pulling away a little bit now.
Has been a very long day for obviously all four of them, but we're at what, 7:40, yeah. So play's been underway here since just after 10. And when you look at the order of play, think, well, we might be on at 3, 4. There we are at 20 to 8.
Yeah, frustrating for everybody involved, I think. You know, the spectators, the coaching team, the ball kids, but most importantly frustrating for the players because they don't know whether to eat or whether to rest or whether to have a little hit, or so they're just in limbo a little bit until they get the all clear, and then they've got to switch it on. So that's always the difficult part.
It does look like we'll be heading towards 3 sets here as well. Set a piece, 6-4 to Cotterill Lapthorne, first set. And 5-2, serving for the second. Here's David Wagner. We'll get to that. So there's 3 set points. And we're going 3. First set point, all he needed. And we are going 3 in this quad final. Just recap on what we've seen today already. Alfie Hewitt beating Gordon Reed in 3, followed by the women's doubles final won by the Dutch in 2. Then we had that men's doubles final. They were looking like it was going to be all completed, and then the rains came. An hour or so's delay, maybe a bit more, between Stefan Houdet, Nicholas Pfeiffer, Gustavo Fernandez, Michael Schaefer's in the end. The number 1 seeds going through in 3, 4, 6, 6, 1, 6, 3. And here we are, another 3-setter in the quad doubles between the number 1 seeds from America, Brian Barten, to Wagner, Anthony Cotterill, and Andy Lapthorne from Great Britain. So they're 1 and 2s. And 2 rather uneven sets. 6-4 first set to the Brits, 6-2 second set to the Americans. Okay, now, Mr. Performance Director, what do the GB boys need to do to get this one done?
They need to find a bit of spark and a bit of fizz from somewhere. They need to get that energy back. It went a little bit flat in that second set. We missed too many opportunities, and we didn't dominate as we were dominating in the first set. Andy needs to just pick it up a little bit more, get those balls a little bit deeper with a bit of aggression on them, and then Anthony can come in and do what he does best. We know what their roles are, they know what their roles are. We've got to stick to the game plan, and let's come out positive in this final set, and let's take it to the Americans.
No doubt where the crowds allegiances lay. Certainly with the British boys, but at the moment the Americans have the upper hand, certainly with the momentum anyway, going to set number 3. And pressure straight away on the serve of Anthony Cotterill, starting set number 3. Once it all. So retaping being done by Brian Barten. That was ready. Ish. Actually, that Anthony puts his spare ball in his lap, not into the spokes of his wheelchair.
And he's got one in the spokes of his wheelchair, but there's another one that, yeah, he keeps very handy just between his legs.
Reason for that? Easy accessibility?
Yeah, personal preference.
Okay.
Leave it.
15-30.
Alright, he's missed, what, 2 or 3 of those today? In and around the net, we normally expect him to bury it. Should have done.
Yeah, very unlike Dave. He's normally very, very clinical when he gets that opportunity, but as I said before, we'll take them all.
Ah! 30-40.
Come on.
Early problems then for the Brits. Opening service game.
Okay, Barten, Wagner.
Frustrations all round.
First game,
In
Barten.
and he gets a little bit annoyed. Now it's Anthony's turn to whack the ball against the backstop. And no, it's not going to plan. Good first set. Not a very good second set. And not a very good start to set number 3 either. Game to love. Break has been made.
Love 15.
Had it sailing. Good drop, wasn't it?
Good job. Hang on, good look at it. Come on. You. Today. Right?
15 all.
Good job, B. Come on, buddy. Good work, bud. Good push. Go, bro. Come on, buddy.
Fifteen, 30.
Okay. A chance for the instant break back that they want.
50-40.
Third.
30-40.
Help, you're there.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. You're there.
No, he isn't there. And there's the break back straight away. Well, the call was made, you're there, but the ball went wide. And so, instant riposte. Instant reaction from the Brits.
Yeah, the best time to break back is the next game, and that's what the guys did. Pretty good game actually to 15, and now just need to cement that with a good hold.
Sorry.
I think it looks as though the sun's at one of the worst points of the day
Yes,
at the moment,
it is,
so
isn't it?
got to make sure we win this game while we're down on the shady end.
Those guys screwing up their eyes at the other end. Ryan doesn't have a cap. He's not wearing a cap. But
Good job, B.
well, extra bit of venom there from Andy Lapthorne. Both the serve and the two follow-up shots. Let's get this done.
B.
Yep.
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 Short. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Short. Yep.
Right. Nice job, B.
50-30.
Good job, buddy.
That's
That's the
real
way to see
scream
that.
from
Go.
Andy
Come
during
on.
the course of the match.
This one, buddy. Go.
Beautiful positioning. Exactly what he was looking for. The way to bisect the two Americans, make sure neither of them could get to the ball. That's exactly what he achieved.
Come on,
Still
baby.
a bit of work to do though, 30 all.
You.
Nice shot, buddy.
Thanks, B. Come on. Let's go. This one. You.
Yep. Oh.
So 3 breaks at the start of set number 3. 2 against the Brits, 1 against the US. And well, seen a warning for ball abuse today, but Andy didn't get one there.
I think that would have been deemed unbelievably as controlled ball abuse. So I think he got away with that one, but just need to turn that frustration or that energy into actually hitting the ball, because we saw a couple of times when he's actually hitting the ball with that controlled aggression, it's very effective. When he just loops it in a little bit, the Americans are then dictating the points and keeping our boys back, and they're taking the points.
There was one example in that last game that I pointed out where Andy basically harder serve, harder follow up to that, and it got the point done. I just wonder whether maybe the intensity needs to be up to a bit, maybe the physical nature of the game needs to be up to a bit, from my point of view.
Absolutely. I think if we play passively and we don't attack, then the Americans are just going to wait for us to make mistakes and for them to put the ball away. We've got to try and create some more opportunities and either let Anthony get back in, get his confidence back up at the net, or let Andy drive through the opposition.
Beautiful. Just not enough of them. Those kind of shots down the line. You know, Andy's capable of doing it, but need a few more. Four breaks in a row. Not quite yet. Americans are digging in. Well, that's kind of what we were referring to a few moments ago. Andy just upping that intensity a bit, being a bit more physical, being a bit more proactive maybe.
Lapthorne. Barten is right. Wait, please.
So 3-1 to the Americans, and first with daylight opening up in set number 3. First hold of serve, in, set number 3 anyway. Good chip. Best way to describe that shot. Not necessarily out of the manual or in the textbook, but effective.
Go. You.
40-30.
You.
He knew it. As soon as it came off his racket, he knew that. Basically the tennis equivalent of catching practice, that was. Yours, boy. Do what you want with it. Back to Juice.
Barten, Cotterill.
Yes, served one ace and one unreturnable in the match, and that's a very good hold in the end. I think might have lost his mojo a bit during the course of that game, but got it back 3-2. And of course, the big question now is, can we finish this match? Because it's getting dark, or getting darker. We're not even midway through the set yet, potentially, and the whole of the court is now bathed in shade.
I think they'll be thankful that the sun's not going to be a problem for much longer, but as you said, it's the darkness that might be the problem in a little while. But credit to Anthony there, you know, again, to go 4-1 down, yeah, and there on the replay, Andy showing his frustration. They need to find a way. They need to find a way, and they need to find that way together. They need to work out what they have to do to turn this back round again. They're only one break down. They're still in this match, and they need to find a way to deliver. And it's up to them, and we just need a bit of energy. We need something that's just going to spark us into coming out and finishing this match off.
So a set all, and still with that one break, the Americans could have been double there, but still the one. And let's say we may not even be midway through the third set. Just keep an eye on the sky. Still blue sky, but no sunlight now, apart from the very, very far end of the court where the Americans are about to serve.
Yeah, big! Stay ready, bro. You, attaboy.
4-0.
Come on. You ready, dude? You. No.
40-50.
Go, bud. Come on.
40-15?
Yep. Come on, Barry. This one, buddy. Come on. You. You. You go, you're there. You. Yep. You. You. Sharp. You go. Come on.
Yeah, just too short in the end from Anthony Cotterill, just allowing the Americans to get back, and well, no opening there for the Brits, no potential break points, so the Americans 4-2 up, and he needs to hold on to his serve here.
Right. Go. Come on. Good push, B. Job, B.
Let's go.
Not quite enough yet again. Now the Americans to get the winner.
Lapthorne.
Need 3 more of those.
15-40.
Yep, right now.
Just long.
Hold on. Bobby, come on, Bobby.
Two back.
30-40.
Come on, hey. Bryce, right here, buddy. Come on, B.
Do the howitzer of a serve here from Lapthorne.
You're there.
Good. It's all coming together too late. It's 3 very good points right up against it in the face of adversity.
Come on, B.
Still not out of the woods yet, but back to deuce.
Barten Wagner.
Hey, Bryce. Right now. Yeah, right now.
Yeah, here we go.
Everything. Come on.
Knocked out.
Game. Barten.
And with it, now suggests probably has gone the match. 5-2, double break in the third. Americans come out to serve for the match. We won't have to worry about the light or the night because I'm turning into a pumpkin. 6-4. The Brits took the first set. 6-2. Second set for the Americans, who are now on the verge. As you can see, sun disappearing behind those trees. Virtually disappeared from the court now. And the bells ring for 8:15.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit disappointing in as much as we're not really making the Americans fight for this. Just giving them a few too many easy cheap points. As you saw there, fighting back from love 40, we get to deuce and then another cheap point to give them game point again, and then another loose point, and we're 5-2 down. It's not over yet, but I would agree with you, it's not looking good.
Could all be done in the next few minutes. Americans have the balls on their racket to see this one out. 5-2, serving for the match.
Lapthorne.
on, make the volley. Make the volley, come on.
And obviously exactly 2 hours since this match started. Here we are at 2 match points. And one is enough. That's all they need. The Americans come out on top. Bit of symmetry about the scoreline from their point of view. 6-2, 6-2 in sets 2 and 3. Brits off to a good start, 6-4, but in the end, Cotterill and Lapthorne, the number 2 seeds, could not beat or remain competitive at the end against the American number 1 seeds, Barten and David Wagner. So we will have a presentation ceremony very shortly for the trophies. Grant, I'm going to say thank you for your time today. 2 matches, so above and beyond the call of duty. May we'll see you in the box tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
So we'll stick around for the presentations. That'll be the last action of the day from Nottingham. Of course, back tomorrow for singles action, men's and women's. And also we'll have the mixed doubles final as well. All that on Sunday. So not quite done yet. We'll just have the presentation and some more speeches before we finish. And thank you for your company today. Just see the conclusion of this match. About to, yeah, just seeing the Americans see it out. Hands it up, Thorne. So annoyed, he did it twice. And the Americans, after a very sluggish and slow start, a lot of breaks to serve in set number 2, but they got it done. And, yeah, a few too many errant shots from both slightly more established of the British pair and the youngster, or younger of the combination. And the Americans, as many times David Wagner's got it done. Delighted to win another trophy here in Nottingham. So the quad doubles goes to the American pair, Barten and David Wagner, 4-6, 6-2, 6-2. So ready will be shortly for the presentation. Just about got it done in daylight hours because that sun virtually has disappeared from the horizon now. Obviously waiting for the players to untape before they can receive their awards. It'll take a little bit longer. So I'm going to remind you tomorrow. See the men's singles final first up. Alfie Hewitt, the number 4 seed, against the number 1, Gustavo Fernandez. And if Alfie Hewitt were to win, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. He'll be creeping ever closer to that number 2 in the world spot. Now number 3, which is an enormous leap from this time last year when he was just in the top 10. But, against the world number 1 man he beat for the French Open title back in the spring at Roland Garros. Beat him though at Wimbledon, so best of 3. He'll be right here at Nottingham tomorrow. Japanese-Dutch encounter in the women's singles. Number 1 and 2 seeds in the world there. We'll see David Wagner and Lapthorne go head to head in the quad singles tomorrow, and he will be looking for some revenge to get one over on David Wagner, who he will partner at the US Open in the quad doubles later on this month. Anthony is almost ready, unstrapped, and going back into his normal chair. There he is. And the Americans should have a chat about what happened in the last 2 hours. A reminder that scoreline 6-4 to the British pair and 6-2, 6-2 for the Americans in sets 2 and 3. I think we're about ready for the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the presentation for the quad doubles. I'm just going to hand over to Mr. Jeffrey Newton, who's Executive Director of the Tennis Foundation, who's going to present the trophies today.
Thanks, Kirsty. Well, first of all, I'm sure you'd like to join me in showing our appreciation to all the players who put on a really exciting match. Very well done, guys. I've had the pleasure and privilege of watching these four gentlemen play on a number of occasions, and it's always a very tight, well-fought contest, and I've seen it go either way. But today, I think all credit to our winners. I'd like to join our President Sir Geoffrey Cass in thanking all those who made it possible to put the tournament on. It's been some exceptional tennis today. I'd like to thank our board crew, all our officials, and of course particularly all you spectators who've stayed to support the players. Very many thanks. And I'd now like to present the trophies.
So the runners-up are Anthony Cotterill and Andy Lapthorne. And our 2017 champions are Brian Barten and David Wagner.
Well, it wasn't the best of starts for them. Had to go over a set down. Took about 2 hours to get the job done, but the American pair are #1 in the world for a reason, and they showed why that is. Their virtuosity and their formidable way that they played in sets 2 and 3. It's a bit nip and tuck with those breaks of serve, but in the end, they had the resilience to get over the line. 6-4 to the Brits in the first, and then 6-2, 6-2 to the Americans. Wins today for the Dutch pair in the women's doubles, French pair in the men's doubles, and the Americans come out on top in the quad doubles. Just see them raise that trophy. Oh, there's some words I think from Wagner.
Hello. Well, thanks everyone for a great tournament of doubles, and Andy and Ant, thanks for a great match. It was an honor again to play you guys, so thank you guys. some of you may or may not know, but we lost someone in wheelchair tennis today. It was a good friend of mine, Chris Studwell, and he was a former world #1 in the quad division, and he passed away today. So we're going to dedicate this win to him. So thank you guys for watching and sticking around. And, rest in peace, Chris.
Good job, David, and good job everybody today. Hope you enjoyed our 4 matches, and we have plenty more to come for you from Nottingham Tennis Centre tomorrow.
Thank you very much for coming today. We've got 3 more matches for our last day tomorrow. So
Men's singles final, women's singles final, and the quad singles final all come out tomorrow. And don't forget, first up, it is Alfie Hewitt looking for a trophy. It's Gustavo Fernandez, who actually got 4. They've got mixed doubles final as well, which we've forgotten about. But we'll have 4 finals for you tomorrow from the Nottingham Tennis Centre. Thanks for your company today. Enjoy yourselves tonight, and we'll be back with you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Just